Here with Sudhi and Suchi.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Hear It Here with the inimitable Suchi and the ever so work in progress Sudhi. And of course,
कभी-कभी तो मुझे सुची बुलाते हैं, कभी-कभी मुझे चमकौ चमेली बुलाते हैं.
वैसे हाँ, that's true.
हाँ, क्योंकि
I'm blind already.
It's true. Sudhi, welcome, hello and welcome सब लोग, to Hear It Here with Sudhi and Suchi.
Yes, and we are going to be talking a lot about Bollywood and apparently a lot of legal trouble that a lot of people are
हाँ,
going.
बहुत कुछ हो रहा है बॉलीवुड में. The fact remains that 5 साल बाद, 5 years later, 2017, okay, Mr. Shah Rukh Khan got into a bit of legal trouble. Vajay was during Race.
The promotion of Race.
During the promotion of Race, apparently there was a stampede. Okay, this was happening.
Gujarat में हुआ Suchi.
Gujarat में हुआ. So the Gujarat High Court is the one who had this whole this thing was going on over there because there was a stampede that happened. Where somebody passed away, somebody died.
Very
actually. It was very unfortunate, but I don't understand.
Case was filed के negligence थी शाहरुख खान की तरफ से.
हाँ, शाहरुख खान ने क्या यार, बेचारा. I mean, he was in the movie. यार, what did he do? I mean, just because he is Shah Rukh Khan and a stampede happens.
Correct.
I don't know why people can hold that against him, but nevertheless, the case is now
been dismissed.
Been dismissed, and Shah Rukh Khan can play Dandiya in Gujarat again.
Amnisha Patel also, Suchi, ऐसा है कि she's also going through some strange legal issues.
यार ये सब क्या है? तुम लोग सबको कोर्ट के बिना नहीं रह सकते क्या?
Do that क्या है?
तुम सबको कोर्ट के बिना नहीं रह सकते क्या?
But अमीषा पटेल गई थी खांडवा मध्य प्रदेश में जो किशोर कुमार की का जन्म स्थान है.
खांडवी, खांडवी वो खाने की चीज है. Sorry, it would be.
But she went there and वहाँ पे जो the cops who were there and everything, she thanked them. कि they rescued her because apparently there was some issue.
हाँ, तो कुछ तो complain किया उन्होंने कि कुछ तो खराब हो रहा है यहाँ पे at the events that she had gone for.
And the cops rescued.
And they rescued her.
मगर फिर बाद में कहानी में twist. वो ये हुआ कि
वापस
कहानी में twist. हाँ, तो बाद में the cops actually turned around and said कि उन्होंने जो उनको promise किया था अमीषा पटेल ने, she has not done the same. She's not delivered on her promise.
हाँ, तो I suppose what event she went for. I mean the deliverables, of who knows, must have been she had to make a speech, this, that and the other, but she must have complained about it and not done what she was supposed to do.
So now apparently because of that reason, Suchi, that she went back on her word, she's in legal trouble.
Maybe she can contact Sunny Deol in Gadar 2 and he'll come with his 2.5 kg का हाथ. Then what they'll do?
आगे बढ़े.
Sudhi, 18 साल पहले तुम कितने साल के थे?
मैं अब तभी भी बौना था, मगर आगे चलो.
बौना? मैं बौन थी तभी. No, 18 years ago was still, it's a long time ago. But apparently at that point, there was a film called Benam which was made with Ajay Devgn, Sameera Reddy, believe it or not.
Oh wow,
yes, and Bhumika Chawla.
Nice. Your friend.
Yes, my friend. So this movie was made, it was called Benam.
Okay.
Right? And it was ready then, but obviously some troubles happened और वो release नहीं हुई.
जो producer थे शायद वो दिनेश जैन थे और उनको कुछ issues आ गए थे. He owed some people money जिसकी वजह से problems थोड़ी ज़्यादा exaggerate हो गई और film नहीं release हो पाई.
हाँ, film release नहीं हो पाई and now what they've decided is चलो कहानी में twist. हाँ, कहानी में twist. हाँ, तो नाम ही twist करते हैं. बेनाम को नाम करा देते हैं. You see, that was the point. There was no name to it, hence it did not release. Now there is a name to it. Naam.
माँ सुची की जय.
है ना? So Naam is the name. Wow, Naam is the name of the film, and it is going to release apparently now, 18 years later. I mean, like. And is it a good move, you think? See, I think Bhumika is definitely looking the same.
Sameera Reddy also, I'm thinking.
Sameera Reddy.
चलो ठीक है, आगे बढ़ते हैं.
Yeah, she is maybe. Ajay Devgn is definitely looking different.
18 साल हो गए यार.
18 साल हो गए. It will be interesting to see. Hollywood की बात कर रहे हैं यार. हम लोग बॉलीवुड में बैठे हैं, लेकिन हम हॉलीवुड की कुछ बातें करें क्योंकि all of the Bollywood stars, somehow or the other, I think they lie when they say नहीं मुझे नहीं जाना है Hollywood.
It's crap.
ना?
I agree with you.
Actually, मैंने तो 2 Hollywood फिल्में की हैं.
कर चुके हो.
So but nevertheless, one other person who wanted to apparently wanted to try his luck out in Hollywood, is Tiger Shroff.
Fair enough.
टाइगर का बच्चा है यार एक शेर सुनाते हैं उसको हाँ anyway Tiger Shroff wanted to be part of Hollywood, okay, and he would have been part of Hollywood because he had been chosen to do the actual Hindi remake of Rambo.
He's been
not an
wanting to do
inspired
that.
version.
He wants to do that. Huh?
No, so that was actually in
Acha,
the making.
okay.
It was supposed to be made by Siddharth Anand, the director,
Okay.
but it got shelved. So that whole idea of the Hollywood connection didn't happen.
Right.
But apparently, Tiger still has dreams, Hollywood dreams of, and I frankly think he's good enough to be there.
For sure, I agree.
The way he looks, the way he dances,
dances.
the way they don't dance too much over there, but nevertheless, he can change it around for Hollywood, frankly.
Because he's always been inspired by Michael Jackson, na, Suchi?
सही है. He sings also. Ow! क्या हो गया? काटा किसी ने? So since Tiger sings and dances, and he could put any other dancer to shame, Hollywood may be the place for him, and I hope that he gets the right agency. I think he's looking for one there.
Oh, interesting.
People, you are still here with Sudhi and Suchi.
Unfortunately.
No, very fortunate for them.
fortunately,
Okay,
yes. Especially because you're sparkling today.
I'm sparkling today, and we were actually sparkling as well.
Yes,
when
we
met
were.
another sparkling human being, who sparkled his way onto the runway recently, especially when he was the pilot.
Kya segue kiya? What a beautiful landing.
Hi. Well, he was on runway 34 actually. That was the
alongside his co-pilot in the film Rakul. Preet.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Rakul. Only Rakul. Okay. So so he was sparkling away, and it was lucky for us that we got there just in time to see Rakul and Ajay sparkle away for us when they were talking about runway 34.
Here with Sudhi and Suchi.
And we are ready to fly high, 35,000 feet to be precise, because we are about to talk to the stars of Runway 34. Welcome Ajay and Rakul to Hear It Here with this person who we call Sudhi and me who we call Suchi.
Still going through an identity crisis.
Yes, identity
here.
crisis always. But before we begin, I want to ask you the first question. After this movie, which one of you knows how to fly a plane?
Both of us, I think.
We both now
Really?
have learned how to fly a plane,
we don't
but
know if we can
land it.
You can land
Yeah,
it.
well done. Well done. I was
Would
going
you
to
like
say
to?
that.
We could try with you.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah.
I'm one for taking risks. I'll
Yeah.
definitely be on a plane if you guys are flying it. Okay.
Great.
Ajay, to start with you, directing and acting in it, producing, and of course with the great Amitabh Bachchan in it. Tell us about that whole experience. First place, I want to know, how did this concept of the film come to you?
3 years back maybe, I heard this, writers came to me. They'd heard about this
The Kochi,
The
Doha.
Doha Kochi.
incident, and they'd worked something on it.
Yeah.
It sounded very interesting, and I asked them how to develop it and make some
Make
changes
it,
in the
yeah.
script and things like this, and come back to me. And then I forgot about it, and we went on with our lives, and the COVID happened, and there was a lockdown, and then after 3 or 4 months of sitting, I was like, that concept was very nice. Let's call them.
Yeah.
So we called them over on Zoom, and we started working first. And by that time, things also opened up, and by the time we kept working, it shaped up so well. For me, it was a script which had a lot of drama. It talks about turbulence in life, maybe in midair or on ground.
on ground, yeah.
And apart from that, there's an intrigue to it. There's a slight suspense which goes through,
Yes.
and mystery and the whole thrill part. So it was a lot of things that are interwoven. So that's what I found very interesting.
Does it in so many ways also kind of is a commentary on the grey areas of the psychology of mankind? Because simply what comes to me when I understand in terms of the true incident is the fact that you essentially you're saving lives at one
Yeah.
level or the other.
Yeah.
But
But
breaking
you're
some
being
rules.
knocked on
Yeah.
your knuckles
Yeah.
for that particular aspect. And you, of course, have been a part of this entire situation. So is that a weird grey commentary on the overall...
There is an undercurrent of that.
Right.
Also, but here, I would say, is the character himself is a little, I would say he's a rule breaker.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
But for the right reasons.
not necessarily.
Okay,
Not
interesting.
necessarily. For that, you have to see the film.
Interesting.
So, so he's a rule breaker, he's brilliant, but he's got this kind of arrogance. And you don't come to know throughout the film that whatever decisions he made were made out of arrogance or
Or-
out of brilliance.
fair.
And gradually how the second half unveils that, what actually happened and what went wrong and what was right, and why the decisions were made, whatever they were made.
Fair.
So it's very, very interesting in that way.
Rakul working with Ajay as co-star and as director, give me the difference.
The difference is that Ajay so as director, I don't think he had time
I hope
for
you don't mind I'm
anything.
calling you Ajay.
No, that's
I'm
okay.
probably older than you. So.
I guess he didn't have time on set at all, because he was donning multiple hats and he had to be. See, Runway is a very, very difficult film to shoot, and to
Yeah,
create
sounds
that
like
kind of emotion and drama in a confined space
Yeah.
is not easy.
It's not easy, yeah.
And when you're
You
also
can come to my
acting,
house. It happens every day.
drama
There's lots of emotion and drama in
Lots
his
of
house.
confined space. Yeah.
But drama,
Yeah,
Emotion drama.
drama.
It's a
emotional
tearful
drama.
story. I want to
All
talk
the
to you
time.
about it after this.
Later.
Well, yeah, I guess that could be the story of lots of houses. But yeah, so coming back to that, I think it's completely different as to how he's just as a co-star.
Yes.
When we worked, but it's inspiring to see him as a director. I remember on day 2 of shoot asking him, "So how are you doing this? Because
Yeah.
you're acting and then you're
I
going back
know.
and setting up. See, if you have to set
And
one
then
camera,
somebody's
it's
coming and
okay.
saying, "Sir, ye budget thoda badh gaya hai."
I don't think that was very well planned. I never
Yeah.
saw the producer
That
side
I've heard
to it.
about your company from other people who
Yeah,
worked with you. I've heard
my
very good
entire
things.
team was so happy, and you get the general feedback. We are obviously happy, but you get the feedback. But
Yes.
nobody on set had any issues.
Yes.
And imagine shooting through COVID times, pandemic
Sure,
times.
exactly,
sure,
The
yeah.
entire
That
unit
is
was
a challenge,
It
yeah.
was a huge challenge. We had to test every 3-4 days.
Yeah.
So that producer side I never saw on set. I only saw the director, the director,
Yes.
and then the co-star, because even between shots he had no time.
Yeah,
He
of
was
course.
setting up for the other shots, and also Sir loves to have multiple cameras,
Yeah.
7 cameras. So he's not
Wow.
setting one camera. So in the cockpit there were 7 cameras.
Wow.
But that really helps the process, right? Doesn't it quicken the process
It's-
for you
it's
guys?
amazing.
it's not about quicken the process. It's about capturing the right moments at the right time.
Correct.
Also.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
some things need to be done. Sometimes performances can't be repeated, and there's certain kind of continuity which can't be done. But those 7 cameras are just not for the heck of it.
Yeah.
They are moving, and they are
Yeah. True.
Okay.
they're planned according to
According
edit,
to-
that this bit will go in this and this bit will go in that.
When you were
sorry.
when you were planning this film, I've heard that you said, if Mr. Bachchan wasn't part of it, you don't know whether it might have happened.
Yeah, because the kind of conflict there is in the film, and the way there's confrontation between him and us.
Yes.
I really don't see, and the kind of dignity the character has. I can't think of anybody carrying it off. So that was my one main.
Tell me this, in terms of the fact that, donning the director's hat, you've obviously done this. You've been a part of this industry, and trust me, I say this personally, a powerhouse as far as performances are concerned. How difficult is it to kind of saw off one part of your brain because you're acting?
You don't saw it off.
And
Yeah.
so that's what is it tough? I mean,
No,
is
in fact, if your mind is tuned, then it's not tough at all. It gets a lot more easier. Because I keep telling people when they ask me this question that, okay, as an actor, as a director, when you work on the script, you work on your characters, and you
Sure.
design your characters, and you know exactly the way they should dress up, the way they should look, and behave, and things like this. And then you groom your actors. Like, I would like to tell Rakul, okay, I see you like this,
Yes.
blah blah blah. But while I was doing that, I was already grooming myself because
fair enough.
Yeah.
But do you get overtly critical of your performances? I mean, does that
Because
kind
you're
of
a director
happen?
as well.
Because somewhere maybe you want
No, I'm just fair. If
Fair.
it is right, it is right.
for yourself.
For myself also.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
A little bit about the music, the film.
The music, it's. I have 2 songs as a background score, which are particularly exactly right for the situation. They're not just for the sake that there should be a song, so there is a break in the narrative. They take the film forward and actually enhance the drama of the film. So there are 2 of them, and I think both are beautiful numbers. One is The Fall and one is Arijit.
Nice.
with
When was the last time you got a hole in one? I have to ask you this because you're a golfer.
That's been a while.
But you have got one?
I've got a
It's
hole
like,
in
you know,
one.
always the obvious
But it's
question
always,
to
but it's always
ask
a
a
fluke.
golfer.
Let me tell you, that's always
It
a
is,
fluke.
right?
Yeah.
I love
you
your
can
honesty.
be close to the pin, but the ball going inside is sometimes, you know, act of the wind. It's also sometimes a lot of other factors. So I believe hole in one is always a fluke.
As actors, for both of you, how interesting is it to play real life characters or enact a true incident as opposed to complete fantasy? And
You know,
what do you all
sometimes-
prefer?
Sometimes it's what happens in real life is so interesting. You can never put it on paper.
So
you know,
true.
you can never
So true.
imagine also that something like this can happen.
happen.
So
It's like what Oscar Wilde had said, right? Life is stranger than fiction. So-
exactly, it's stranger than fiction. So when put something like this on paper, अरे ऐसे थोड़ी होता है यार ये. But in real life में होता है, you're shocked and
yeah,
ऐसा हुआ यार.
Correct.
You know, that's the difference.
Right.
Yeah.
So so it's you asked me difficult.
Yeah, is it?
No, I wouldn't say difficult. Yeah, when you're playing characters like in this film, it's not that difficult because we were not following the characters
The
of
characters
Who
It's
actually
a
went
story.
through the
Yeah.
process.
Exactly.
Correct.
I don't have their backstory stories. The backstories.
But did you
are different.
end up meeting with
No,
them? or-
not really.
not at all.
really. We
Okay.
just followed
No,
these.
it's just the story.
And yeah, but when you're playing characters like Bhagat Singh or
Sure,
you know,
sure.
then you have a lot of responsibility. You can't wrong them in any which
Yes,
way. So,
yes.
so that's a different aspect.
Rakul, what about you? Are you interested in playing as in living characters or legends?
I would love to play everything, you know,
Yeah.
and I would love to do a biopic. That's something that I would
Whom
love
would you
to
like
do.
to play then?
I don't know about that, but I think it's just such a huge responsibility, like Sir said, to be able to portray someone's achievements or life on screen and bring it to for so many people
Sure.
to consume. And I'd love to do that. I don't know whether it would be. I definitely know some historical, possibly,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
you know, or a sports biopic. I don't know.
Golf.
I don't know. I don't think we're ready for a golf biopic in
Why
India yet.
not? Like a woman version of Tiger Woods.
Yeah, but there isn't in India.
Unfortunately,
There
yes,
isn't,
that's true.
and for people to relate yet.
Yeah, we still have to get out of cricket.
Yeah, that is true. But I want to ask you this, Rakul. When you were like growing up in Delhi, I'm from Delhi.
Right.
From Army Public School in JMC.
Yes.
JMC was, of course, a very important
Yes, very
part of
popular.
my growing up. Yes, anyway.
No guy
I
would
just got
not ever
distracted.
say
Yes.
JMC was not.
So, but when you were growing up, when you were wanting to go ahead and make it into the industry and all of that, when you look back now, what are the aspects that make you smile?
Firstly, I don't look back that much.
That's fabulous.
But yeah, because I mean, I have lots to do right now than to look
Yeah.
back. But I think the biggest aspect that makes me smile is that my parents said, "Go,
Beautiful.
do what you want to do," and they were my strongest pillars, you know, through the journey to actually, whenever I went wrong, to guide me through and say, "Okay, maybe you should do this."
Nice.
One last question. We have to wind up. I've been told.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. What's that one kind of genre of film? You know, you've done so much. Rakul, you've also really made a name for yourself, and we're going to see a lot of you this year, all different kinds of roles. But what is that one genre of film or that one role that you're still dying to do?
I can't think of it.
No, come on.
I really can't think of any. You know,
Or as a
roles-
director, something
roles-
a genre of film that you want to direct.
I really don't know. I mean, it's never the genre you
Yeah.
follow. It's just the story you follow.
Story.
Yeah.
And that could be any genre. Like
Yeah.
I keep telling people, as an actor also, when you wake up in the morning, when they ask this question, you don't think, okay, I'm going to go and do this genre.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and perform.
Fair.
You know, I'm going to go and
Yeah.
act.
Fair.
So
But have you got enough opportunities in comedy or in drama or
I
in
think
romance?
I
yeah.
have. I'm,
yeah.
and
No,
I
think
keep
it's,
Rakul,
rotating.
you?
yeah, like
Yeah.
doss my hat to you in terms of your timing perspective, and it would be fabulous for you to come and maybe direct a comedy. I don't know, because it's
That'll
always
be a very different
challengingly
comedy.
interesting. Yeah, dark one, nice, interesting dark one. Yeah.
For me, I really want to do a love story. I mean, I wouldn't want to do a lot of stuff, but I really want to do a really cool love story.
Cool love
Before
story and
sunrise
a
vibes.
Nice,
a cool love story and a whole lot more for Ajay and Rakul coming up in the future. But for now, we just want to wish you all the very, very best.
Thank you.
so
Thank you
much.
for being
Thank
on here.
you.
Godspeed to all of you.
Thanks.
Here with Sudhi and Suchi.
It's always nice, na Suchi, when you see a guy who's he's directed the film, he's
Yeah.
produced it, he's acted in it, and there was a sense of passion with which he was talking about the entire storyline.
Yeah, he's very cool. I think Ajay Devgn, that's why he's kind of, Lambi Race Ka Ghoda, they call him. but yeah, you know, and he seems to have done a really good job with this movie. So good on you, Ajay Devgn.
Suchi, you're going to say goodbye now?
So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. I hate to go and leave this pretty side. Tin 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 tin. Taran from Sudhi and Suchi here on Hear It Here. लेकिन हम आ जाएंगे वापस बहुत ही जल्द।
Really?
क्योंकि बहुत कुछ है बॉलीवुड के बारे में आप लोगों को बताने के लिए, लेकिन वो सब अगले एपिसोड में।
Hear it here with Sudhi and Suchi.